Chookers! Hello, everybody. I'm James.
I'm Neil. Nice to meet you, everyone. That was horrible. But
And we have
have we ever met before?
we have the wonderful Della and Cheyenne with us in our very first Zoom interview.
Oh,
Yay.
very first four-way. Not just...
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry. Not just a regular four-way, but...
Stop saying four-way.
Well, technically it is.
Yeah. Okay. This is the
Well,
first.
I'm happy to be the first.
Thanks, Della. Thank you.
Amazing.
No, so Della's in Melbourne and we got her on Zoom and three of us here in Sydney. And this is great. We're evolving.
Yeah. This is wonderful. Neil just ducked out and grabbed 2 new headphones.
No,
for
I
us.
didn't. We've always had it. We've always had it.
But why? Why are we having 4 people, and why did we decide to interview somebody over Zoom? Neil?
Well, Cheyenne and Della are both Iranians. And at the moment, what's happening in Iran with all the protesting and, of course, the death of Mahsa Amini. So we've discussed some stuff about that. The credibility also with Della. She's in a show at the moment in Melbourne, which has opened yet? No,
Not yet.
not yet.
22nd of November.
Lovely. So first of all, let's just introduce you because we already know Cheyenne quite well. Just quickly tell us about yourself real quickly.
Yeah, so my full name is Delaram. And Delaram Ahmadi, and I'm an Iranian actress and psychology student. And I came to Australia 10 years ago. And yeah.
And you already have an Australian
I am.
accent. How did that happen? It took me 15 years, 20 years.
Well, acting, voice work, accent work. Yeah.
And Della, tell us about the production that you're in that's coming up in Melbourne.
So the play is called Caress Ache by Susie Miller. And it's about, I can't really reveal too much about it, but I can talk about my character. My character in it is an Australian Iranian girl that wants to go back to Iran and explore her identity and help and create a more secular system and fight for freedom, which is crazy. It's so relevant at the moment, and I got this role about like 3 to 4 months prior to what's happening in Iran. So it's crazy how this character is actually like the things that she says in the play is just so relevant to today. And so that was very inspiring doing that character.
Yeah, wonderful. Can you tell us a bit more for the people who don't know, why is it so relevant to today?
Well, on the 16th of September 2022, an Iranian Kurdish girl named Mahsa Amini got arrested because she was wearing her hijab incorrectly by the morality police. And then she was beaten to death while in custody. And after her death, protests rised through the whole country, across the whole country. And this was just the start of the protest. People aren't protesting because this one incident. This regime, the Islamic Republic of Iran, has been violating the human rights for 43 years. And it's just that people are tired and they just want to fight and have a more secular and free country.
And it's not just rallies in Iran, correct? There's been rallies around the world.
Exactly, yeah. All Iranians and our beautiful non-Iranian friends came along and did rallies across the whole world.
And Cheyenne, you've been involved heavily with the rallies here in Sydney, correct?
Yeah.
What and thinking about performance, I think specifically in relation to rallies, you were talking to me recently about how you've found that your skills and talent as a performer have translated to your abilities to lead a rally, and I got to see that, and it was a great privilege, and you did really well. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's I feel incredibly humbled to be able to do something, and I think everyone can do something these days for getting our home back. But I started going to a protest the first night, and then I realized, okay, we're mostly talking in Farsi, and if we want to be the voice of people in Iran, in another country, we need to speak their language. So I just took the initiative and asked people, hey, can I say a few words in case somebody's passing by and they want to know what's happening? Back when it started, it wasn't as big as it is right now. And it started from there, and then as the crowds got bigger and bigger, I realized a lot of the things that I've practiced, especially with my background of theater and especially community theater with my beautiful fellow Iranians, have come really handy. Things like, teamwork, things that we've experienced, Neil and I, at uni. When there are many voices in a team, you need to be the bigger person and just stay silent and just be cooperative and trust in one another that it will go okay. Things like, and then of course the performative elements, like projecting your voice if there's no microphone, reading the room, connecting with people that are there at the rally, not just reading something from your phone, but really looking at them, connecting with them. And I have never experienced something like this. It's I only can hope for non-Iranians to feel something like this. You feel like you are one with the people, and it wasn't easy. I haven't done emceeing or presenting before. I find it more challenging than theater or film. You always have got the text, but teamwork, and then there's our community. Each field that was active in the community theater, for example, set design. Those boys and girls would build a stage for the rally, for the protest, or like those that were doing the audio for the plays are now adjusting the microphone for the people. So all of it is coming in really well together. Yeah,
I saw that what you're talking about projecting and I was watching you yesterday when you were up there, and I felt incredibly proud of who you've become. Like, it's weird that we started as friends at university, and I quickly messaged Natasha saying, "Hey, this is incredible to see you." This as artists, as what we all are, as creatives, we have to do things that we truly believe in, and when that opportunity comes, you step up to the plate, and you did. And there was one moment that sort of stuck in my head. There's two moments. One where there was a bit of there was some thing that happened in the crowd, and it was just a bit of oddness. And you said that doesn't matter if what you believe in, what religion you are, what part of Iran you are, whether you're Kurdish, you're Turkish, or whatever you are, at this moment, put that to the side and think as Iranians, and don't think about what party is going to come through. Let's keep tunnel vision on this particular agenda right now, and we'll think about it later on. And you said that, and I'm like, yes, you have just read the room, and you finally put everyone as one. And that to me was something that I have always believed in, and we've always discussed that. Yeah. And you did that, and I'm like, oh, that's what I want. And that's what, as creatives, that's what we should be doing. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. It's it's a beautiful thing, Della can speak about like her side of work. She's been following up on some amazing work over in Melbourne. But one of the things that I've noticed and I wrote down to mention today is that if you are going to preach to people, if you're going to say something and invite them to, for example, be united, people are incredibly smart. They will feel it if you have anything to gain from this. If you have, I mean, I started doing this temporarily until this is the revolution for women, and I have started saying it at every rally, every protest. Please invite younger women to come and get the microphone. I don't want to be here all the time. And in fact, there's so much work to do, and we all can be doing always more. So I'm not interested in being a politician. So if I am, I will just put in my what I can do until it's useful and it's needed. And I find that more and more people come to you when you have nothing to gain, when there's nothing in you. You don't belong to anything, and you only want people to love one another and come together. They connect with that. So that's been incredibly humbling. Yeah.
How has it been for you in Melbourne, Della?
Well, I've been meeting politicians and MPs, and it's been great. And if I want to talk about the performative side of it, having acting background helped me having control on my emotions, because when you're talking to a diplomat, and when you want to raise an issue, you can't be emotional. And obviously, I am very emotional and furious at this situation and what's happening in Iran, because there's something happening every day which breaks all of us. And being able to channel those emotions into being firm and actually getting what I want out of that meeting or conversation has helped me a lot as an actress. And also, I think it's our responsibility as artists to be storytellers. So in Iran, people don't have a voice. So it's literally us artists reading the news, like talking to my people in Iran and hearing them and actually projecting and doing storytelling for them on social media, to people, to diplomats, so I can be their voice. And I was actually reading this book, Sapiens, and at the start, it's a brief history of humankind. So at the start of this book, it says that one of our main evolution survival techniques was actually storytelling.
Oh wow!
As human beings, Homo sapiens. And it was because we told each other stories about dangers and wild animals and natural disasters. So that kept us safe from actually getting hurt or dying. And also like telling each other where the food is, where water is, that all came from storytelling. And I feel like as artists, that is storytelling is fundamental to our survival.
We saw on Saturday there was a performance during the rally. Yeah, and we've got footage of that, which we'll hopefully show right now. Can you talk us through? Do you remember how much of that performance do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Do you want to? Can you talk about that performance?
Yeah, sure. So there was, I think, about 3 or 4 actors. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe only 1 or 2 of them have done like community theater work. And my goodness, I've worked with them on various productions in the community theater, and I was so proud that I didn't know there was going to be a performance.
Oh, right.
And I rocked up and I saw them rehearsing. And they had prepared a piece about the suppression that is happening right now. People are getting beaten on the streets, and and then eventually during a song, as it got to its peak, people would win. The side of people would eventually win, and it was just talking about it makes my hair stand up. But I that to me is a perfect example of the duty of an artist. Even though these actors or even interested in acting guys and girls, they don't claim that this is their career. I think that's a perfect example of what the duty of an artist is. And the people in Iran, we are being their voice in a time where their internet is cut off. They look to heroes, they look to voices, and we feel the responsibility. And we also see what's happening in Iran right now. People are waiting for their artists, their heroes, their celebrities, their athletes to speak up, and is no more polarizing. They want you to not be ambiguous. If you post something about Iran, do not be afraid. Lead by example. And the times that our artists have done that, it's given such spirit to people. And the times that you can see, like some of them are slowly realizing that this is it, guys. This is happening, whether you like it or not, whether you were in a good position or not, you were earning enough or not. And some of them that are now changing sides, people are like, we may forgive you, but you won't have your place in our hearts anymore. And not that Della and I did that, and in fact we're based in Sydney, but how can you take a look at something that is about only the human side and those that have got financially to gain something from this? And as an artist, your whole goal, your best dream is to be viewed by people and be liked and be trusted. And if you can't carry that load of trust, then this is not for you. We're all risking our when we started being the voice of our people. It wasn't as obvious as right now that it was going to win, and we were literally risking our family members in Iran being contacted, being arrested, but we don't care anymore. So I think I think that's really important.
Can you, Della and Cheyenne, I mean, can you talk about what it is we've talked about a little bit about the duty of an artist, but like you just alluded to, there are dangers in being that voice. And I can only imagine the difference between any kind of rallies or gatherings here versus the rallies and gatherings in Iran. Can you tell us more about, if you know, I guess because of the internet blackout, what kind of artists and creatives are doing in Iran?
Well, I actually spoke to one of my friends. He's a journalist in Iran. I spoke to him yesterday, and he told me about, they put Evin prison on fire. The Islamic Republic of Iran put Evin prison on fire. And Evin holds all the artists and activists and politicians and writers, basically all the intelligence, right? And they put this prison on fire on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And my journalist friend was there watching it. He called me. He said, Della, it was, I haven't even seen such thing in movies. That it was that horrible. And he obviously risks his life going there and, taking videos. And I was like, why are you doing it? Like, you're risking your life. Why did you go there? And he's like, you know me, I'm an artist, I'm a journalist. Do you think I can stay home while that's happening? Obviously, I'm going to go out. He was like, if you were here, I would have taken you out as well. You know, it's just, it's our duty. And I feel like if we repress it, it's going to make us miserable. as artists.
Actually, off of what you just said, it's unbelievable. We haven't experienced any of these things for a long, long time. I know I haven't experienced like this sense of unity and reaching out to one another. We've got artists in Iran. We've got people in different cities that when they see, for example, I made a video on my Instagram, and I only realized that I have to use the social media platforms because you guys know me. I'm not active on social media. I'm
You're
usually
very active now.
I realized that whether I like it or not, I have to do something. And I made a message for the Prime Minister, and it's been shared and liked, and many people have been kind to message and whatnot. And what happened was a few people reached out from different cities, and they were like, "Hey, I'm a performer in such and such city. What can we do?" And from then on, it's been a conversation of like this network of people everywhere around the world. Hey, this is what we're from, what stage of the fight we are right now in Sydney. We're getting our local representatives to, we're reaching out to them. These are the best techniques that we've found. So I know we talked about, having a sense of community on your podcast last time I was here and how to support one another. We're using that. Della and I constantly are talking and saying, hey, what are you up to? What can I, oh, that's cool. I can do that. And, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, following directly on from that, what can non-Iranians do? What can we do to help support the people of Iran?
Yeah.
Well, please, I'm asking all my older non-Iranian friends, you can email your representatives and MPs, just a personalized email, and just say that you're not happy with the situation of Iran, and ask them to put pressure on the Iranian government and recognize the IRGC as a terrorist group. And that would be so helpful.
Yeah.
One person is going to be a lot.
Would it be better if you guys wrote a actual email up as a format? And maybe, I don't know, if I could put on Instagram, whatever, and I can just send to people everything, and they can put their names on and sign it, and then I'm not sure if they can sign it, but like they can send it to their MPs.
Yeah. I mean, if you mean for the to include in the post, 100%. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Or even to anyone else who wants to do it, like obviously not just on our platform, but other people's platforms, and they can you can send to them, hey, just here's a format. Just put your name, put the email, and send it through. It's easier, quicker.
Yeah,
you can just do it, as opposed to a lot of people may have the whole thing. Oh, I got to write it up, everything like that. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's what we've been doing during the protests. So both of you were, funnily enough, the guy that was helping people email. Yeah, Ali, who was helping people reach out, find their representatives, and we spoke about it, how to make it as easy as possible, as fast as possible. And a couple of things about that. One, he's been asking people to tell him a little bit about themselves. So the message is a little bit personalized. That's the most impactful thing that we can do. And then secondly, the thing that I wanted to mention is that Ali is actually the son of Hussein, who is an older Iranian actor. Now he's in his 60s, and he was there when the revolution of Iran happened. He went to prison. He escaped Iran. He came here, and we did a show together with Ayla, Heart of Dog. We did that in 2014 or 15. And I messaged him the other night. I was like, "Thank you for your work. Like, thanks to you, we're making a difference." And I never thought, when I met your father and when we were involved in a show, one day, years later, his son would be helping us, during a revolution. And his dad is such a revolutionary figure. He's like, we need to overthrow these bastards. And it's unbelievable. We are nationally high on unity. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I really hope this is the car that gets you there. like I can see it, like in people's, like I was in the protest yesterday, and I see everyone, and you can see in people's eyes that they're really not going to stop, and I really hope it doesn't and just continues on this wave. Yeah. Have you had a chance to speak to your family? Are they okay?
They've cut off the internet.
Nothing.
And when I try calling, it just it doesn't go through. It sounds like they're on a call. I've tried like over 30 times. It doesn't work. But speaking of calling, thanks to again Iranians coming together and bugging Australian telecommunication companies. For a week, you can reach out to Iran for free if you have like Telstra, Kogan, a lot of providers. But that is only possible through, a big will, a lot of people wanting the same thing. I haven't been able, but have you been able to contact your family?
Well, I spoke to my journalist friend, but I think he's got access to some kind of VPN because his job. But my mum has spoken to her mum once. I think. Yeah, that's all.
And we talked a little bit about what non-Iranians can do. I want to be more specific. What can non-Iranian creators and artists like me and Neil do? Like, is there something different? Because obviously we have this platform we're talking to you two right now, but as creatives and artists, you mentioned there were some creatives and artists who were contacting you from other cities. Is there is there something about storytelling that we could do?
Well, yeah, spreading the word and just because a lot of the people, especially non-Iranians, are not sure what is happening because the media has always portrayed Iran as a Middle Eastern terrorist country, but people don't know that Iran wasn't like this 40 years ago. 40 years ago, Iran was something else. Women were free. Everyone were free. Like there was so much social freedom in Iran 40 years ago. And then this regime came and kept people hostage for 43 years, and people are now confused. They're like, okay, we thought it was always like that in Iran. We thought there was always war in Iran, which wasn't, and it's not true. And people don't know the extent of violation of human rights in Iran. When we say violation of human rights, they don't think it's that basic of just putting a scarf on too loosely is going to get you killed. So making everyone aware of what is happening in Iran actually makes a change in this situation, because people in Iran get their courage from people outside of Iran. When they see celebrities like in America post about Iran, they're like, okay, so they see us. They know our pain. So it gives them more courage and bravery to go and fight for their freedom. And so as non-Iranian artists, especially if you're a non-Iranian artist and you explain the situation, they'll be like, okay, everyone has started to see us, and that would be really helpful, because courage is. I believe that courage is contagious.
Yeah, I think it is. It's very and like when that everything started happening, I was really surprised that not that many non-Iranians were saying a lot of things. Like, why aren't people saying it? Like what? Like, and I was really, I got that 2, 3, 4 days. I remember. I was so upset. Like I was messaging everyone. Like, why aren't, even in Melbourne, like a lot of the people in Melbourne, like, why aren't you saying anything? Yeah. And they're like, oh, we are. But like, what? I haven't seen a single post or nothing. But I think now we can't see, like, I got to look at through a different lens. I was seeing through a negative lens. I think it's more about they not understanding how you guys actually feel and where that comes from, and the history and what Iranians people are before the happened 43 years ago. That's really, really important, to know that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the historical changes, So, just quickly question a little about because you were also on Q&A. You guys were on Q&A. Yeah. Just quickly give the experience of that real quick, and is it the answers you guys wanted?
Look, we know, unlike 1979, when where it took. Where the revolution of Iran happened. This time, thanks to social media and technology, and especially the average age of people on the streets in Iran is 15. Just think about that. Let that sink in for a while. They are so aware. They are so aware that, people all over the world, their heart beats for what's happening in Iran. It's not a polarizing matter. But politicians, however, we know that the political system in the West, everywhere, it's broken. You have to be bought in order to get access to become a politician. And a great example of this is look at what's happening with the pollution of air and global warming. It doesn't look like it's going to be saved with the same system that caused it in the first place. And so when we went to Q&A on ABC last Thursday, the responses that the person from the government was on the panel was like, we've been only in 3 months since we started and whatnot. And while that's disheartening, I know that doesn't stop us, and we're bugging them. Last night, since the prison thing happened in Iran, in a matter of 4 hours, there was about I think 2,000 people that rocked up in front of immigration when we had that protest in 4 hours, short notice. So we won't stop. And we know that countries have got deals with Iran, and we know that this is a great time for them to go behind the back and be like, hey, you're desperate. How about you give me a discount on the oil and the gas? And we know that. But we also know, thanks to our collective knowledge and collective consciousness around the world, all Iranians coming together for around one goal, we know that the way to fight that is to contact the local representatives in personalized way, and they will feel like their vote is at stake. That's how you get to them, and that's what you guys can do as well. That's one thing. And also, you don't know how much it means when you guys post something, when you guys share something, when you, even in English, you say, hey, I'm there with you, even if it's like 20, 30 seconds message. Iran is let's not forget that Iran for 43 years has been separated from the rest of the world. So when they check their Instagram through all the VPN and filters, when they see a non-Iranian face saying, hey, I'm with you, that gives them so much heart. So don't underestimate that. But yeah, we didn't get the answers that we were hoping for, but we're not stopping.
We all know what the answers is, and the answer is America stepping in and stopping this bullshit. That's what I think. But anyway, that's what I think. Just your show quickly. When's that opening again? When's it opening?
So it opens on the 22nd of November.
Great. And what's the theatre?
MC Showrooms is called the theatre, and the play is called Caress Ache. I don't know if I said that.
No, yeah, you did. written by you say it's Susie Miller, was that right?
Yeah, Susie Miller. Yeah.
Yes. So she also in our previous podcast we talked about Prima Facie, which is also written by Susie Miller. So she's a brilliant writer, brilliant playwright.
Yeah.
Love to come watch it. come out to Melbourne.
How long? Sell online tickets as well.
You can watch it online.
Yeah, I think they do.
No, I want to come watch it.
I'm gonna double check.
No, I want to come. I want to come watch it. How long is when's it finishing up? How long is
26th.
26th. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Great. Was there anything else you wanted to add real quickly before we finish up, Cheyenne?
Any final any final message?
Because I want to. This is the thing. I was upset nothing happened. I want to help you as much as I can.
I think that people care and agree what's happening right now in Iran is wrong, and all we need you to do is just reach out to your local representatives on APH. If you go in, you put in your postcode, you find their contact number, their emails and all that. And if you're not sure about it and something, there's always an Iranian around. You can ask them, hey, Yeah,
There's always Iranian
there's
around.
always we are countless.
Good.
We are everywhere, relentless. That would mean the world, because what's happening in Iran is not just about Iran. That shows that if an average age of 15-year-olds can fight and change and overthrow a dictator that helps set up other dictatorships. It's not an ordinary dictatorship in Iran's. If they can overthrow it like they're doing it, anything is possible. Don't underestimate your power, millennials. Be with people of Iran, and that's a testimony to the world. Yeah.
Great.
And Della, any last word from you?
Please inform yourself about what is happening to non-Iranian friends. Please inform yourself about what is happening to Iran and what has happened 43 years ago. Even you knowing what is happening is something.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Thanks so much for today. Today was a bit different on our podcast, but it had to be done. Really appreciate both of you guys coming on and having a chat. And
Thank you for having us, and
like-
Thank you for having us.
yeah, doing a special. I know this is short notice, and yeah, you have to go out of your way, but we really appreciate it.
yeah, like actually, I asked Della to come on a long time ago, but
Let's turn off the camera and discuss all this.
thanks so much, guys. Anything else you want to add?
No, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you for listening.
Pleasure.
All right, guys. See you on the next one, and all the information I'll try to put as much as I can on the Instagram profile and everything as well. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Amazing.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.